So for x, given that x over 1 plus I minus y over 2 minus I is equal to 1 minus 5I divided by 3 minus 2I. So it's not that complex. Okay, it's not really a complex thing. So all you do is, on the first part of the equation, merge it as a single fraction. Okay, you can merge it as a single fraction if that is going to be easier for you. But if you have another easier way to do it, you are sure to do it. So if I want, I might not even merge as a single fraction. It's so up to your choice. If I want, I'll conjugate this or rationalize this. Now I'll conjugate. I'll also conjugate this, and then I'll also conjugate this, so that they are all going to be linear. Okay, they are all going to be linear. And how do you do that? Then this is going to be, you are going to have x divided by 1 plus I. Remember, when you're conjugating, you conjugate the denominator, right? I'm going to get the denominator, change its sign. Now you change the sign of the imaginary part, or the sign of the I. So this is going to be 1 minus I divided by 1 minus I. Okay, and then you write a minus. You have got y on top divided by 2 minus I. Also conjugate it. You look at the denominator, I've got 2 minus I. So change the sign of the imaginary number. That is going to be 2 plus I. Also down by 2 plus I. And that is going to be equal to 1 minus 5I divided by 3 minus 2I. Also this one, rationalize it. So multiply on top and down by the conjugate. So just change the sign of the imaginary number. That will be 3 plus 2I divided by 3 plus 2I. Okay, so if I multiply x with what is on top there, I'm going to get x plus minus xi divided by, when you multiply a complex number by its conjugate, just get the first number you are seeing, that is a 1, this one. Okay, 1, square it, and then get the number in front of the I. Of course, that is also a 1. Square it. Even if this one with a negative is the one which started, it doesn't matter which one started. As long as get the constant, square it, plus the number in front of the I. Even if it's negative, negative squared will still be positive. Square it. Okay, that's what you do. And then you also have, we're going to have negative y. This is a negative y multiplied by the 2. That is going to be negative 2y. And then negative y multiplied by the I. That is going to be negative yi. And then over in the denominator, get the first number here, square it. That is going to be 2 squared, plus get a number in front of the I. That's a negative 1. You square it. That is going to be 1 squared. The negative will go, like negative squared will be positive. And that is going to be equal to, multiply here, 1 times the 3. It is going to be 3. 1 times 2 there. It is going to be the 2i. Negative 5i times the 3. It is going to be negative 15i. Then negative 5i times 2i. Negative 5 times 2 is going to be negative 10. I times I, that will be I squared. And then in the denominator, multiply a number by its conjugate. Just get the 3, you square it. Plus get also the number in front of I, that's a 2, you square it. Please always use a plus here, always. So on top we have got x minus xi divided by 1 square plus 1 square, that's a 2. Then minus, we have got a 2y minus yi divided by 2 squared is a 4 plus 1 squared, that is a 1. That is going to give us a 5. That is going to be, we know that I squared is a negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 10, that is going to be a positive 10. Okay, plus a 3, that is going to be a 13. And then 2i minus 15i, that is going to be negative 13i divided by 3 squared, 9. 2 squared 4, 9 plus 4 13. And then I'm going to write this as, I'm going to remove the what, the fractions the way they are. I'm going to split it, so that is going to be x over 2 minus x over 2i. Okay, like this 2 applies to both this and this. And then you have got 5 also, you are going to have negative 2y over 5 minus y over 5i, and that is going to be equal to 13 also over 3. So 13, actually that's 13 over 13. 13 over 13 is a 1, isn't it? 1. And then 13 into negative 13i, that will be negative I. Hope you can see that. Okay, and then on this side I'm going to put like terms. Those who don't have an I, I'll put them together, these two. So I'm going to have x over 2 minus 2y over 5, and then we're going to have the negative x over 2i minus y over 5i, and that is going to be 1 over I mean 1 minus I. From here we can make this as a single fraction, so multiply the x by the 5, that is going to give you a 5x, multiply the 2 by the negative 2i, it's going to be negative 4y, that's y actually, then multiply the two denominators, that will give you a 10. And then I'm going to put a minus here. Okay, minus, I'll factorize out a minus first. We're going to remain with x over 2, right? And then plus y over 5. I is also common, so I'll also factorize it. 1 minus I. And this will give us 5x minus 4y divided by 10 minus, measure as a single fraction, inside there that is going to be 5x plus 2y divided by 10 I is equal to 1 minus I. And then equate the two sides. So this one doesn't have an I, equate it to 1 which doesn't have an I. So we are going to first say 5x minus 4y over 10 is equal to 1. This is a negative, this is a negative. So equate this one which has got an I, just a number in front, that is a 5x plus 2y over 10. Equate it with the number in front of the I, that is a 1. From here, cross multiply. So it's going to give us 5x minus, this is a 4y, that is going to be equal to 10 times 1, that is going to be 10. It's going to be equation 1. And then also down here, cross multiply, we're going to have 5x plus 2y, and that is going to be 10 times 1, that is going to be positive 10. This is going to be equation 2. Okay, from here we can solve now this simultaneously. I'll subtract 5x minus 5x, that will be 0, right? Negative 4y minus 2y, that is going to be negative 6y. 10 minus 10, that is going to be 0. Mean that y is equal to 0. And then to find the value of x, you can use any of these two equations which we have. I'll use the first one. 5x minus 4 multiplied by 0 is equal to 10. In that 5x is going to be equal to 10, like 4 times 0 is 0. Mean that x is going to be equal to 2. So that is, these are the values of x and y.